Hello guys, welcome to Autolatest Cars. Today we are driving a new car that it's made in France, but especially it's made for European market. It's a GT line version borrowed from our test partner, which is called the Urial Pantelimon from Romania. But today we have to talk about the new Peugeot 308, a car that received a very important facelift last year in 2025, and we are presenting it to you now in 2026, at the beginning of 2036, because this car actually means a lot for us because we are Europeans. First of all, today in 2026 there are a lot of Chinese brands that had entered on this market, and a lot of traditionally European brands actually gave up of normal compact cars, and they move on to big SUVs, a place where the Chinese actually destroys all competition, even if it's from Europe, even if it's from Japan or other countries like USA. Definitely the Chinese don't have a compact car on European market because they actually make a lot of big SUVs with a lot of technology. This car, it's called Peugeot 308 Facelift 2026, a car that has under the bonnet a normal semi-hybrid engine, which is called 1.2 turbo hybrid. It's a petrol engine with 136 horsepower and 230 Newton meters at around 1,750 RPM, and an electric motor with 28 horsepower and 55 Newton meters in the double clutch electrified gearbox made by Peugeot Automotive, a gearbox company that actually it's owned half by Stellantis and half by Peugeot Automotive, which is it's a Chinese company. The car we are presenting you now, it received some difference, some design features which make this car very important in 2036. First of all, the fangs, the classical fangs are no more. They are integrated in the daylight running lines, and you have an illuminated grille, and of course an illuminated logo, Peugeot logo, a design feature that makes this car looks very nice in 2026. First of all, the tires are also 18-inch wheels on this version. This is a GT line with 40 millimeters, so it's a very important lowered compact car that is capable of reaching over 200 kilometers an hour with this. The empty weight of this car is 1,382 kilograms, 0-109 seconds, max speed 210, and of course this car has 145 horsepower combined power, and the fuel consumption, the Stellantis says 4.85 liters per 100 kilometers, and of course a price tag on this market on the entry-level version, which is called Style, the same power but with different wheels with a different color. Of course, this is not this green and this entry-level, this top-of-the-line alloy wheels. The car costs 26,000 euros. Okay, as design features, you have the new logo on the back. This is the dealer from Romania. This is the biggest Stellantis dealer on Romanian market, and of course in the back you will have the same design features like the other 308 before the facelift. But now we have also light, but the LED bar, it's quite nice because this design feature actually makes this car one of the most elaborated on this on European market. First of all, it's a small compact car. This is not a crossover. If you want to drive something bigger from Peugeot, definitely you should go for a 408. But bear in mind this car, it's only 26,000 euros starting off. The 408, which actually I love that car, with the same engine, with the same powertrain, actually drives quite well even on the highway. That car, it's over 30,000 euros, and it's a shame because Stellantis Europe could actually lower the price to make it around 28,000 euros on the entry-level version with the Style version, and that car could be a very big problem for the Chinese cars, because this car and also the 408 are they have a very good build quality from all point of view. So let me show you the side of this car. In the back, the design feature, it's actually it looks quite good, as you probably see. Yes, and of course the design of the design of the European cars in this segment, it's quite strange, because definitely here in Europe we don't have anymore a lot of compact cars, so that's a very big problem. So if you see this on European markets, on European roads, definitely you should be aware that the guy actually drives the best Peugeot car on the best compact car from European market. Okay, let's go inside. So before we enter in the car, I have to show you the build quality of this car. So the doors are closing very nice. You have a LED bar here on the door. It has very soft materials inside. The buttons are illuminated, and of course this is the interior in the night. Somehow the night mode, because we are in a parking beneath the ground. So in this car you'll have, of course, the iCockpit, the same system that actually it's mounted on all Peugeot cars in the last 10 years. You'll have an 3D dashboard, and as you probably see, we have still a range of 440 kilometers. I actually drive this car 200 kilometers, as you see there. The average fuel consumption is 8.2 with an average speed of 26 kilometers an hour, but actually I drove 200 kilometers or 99% in the city driving mode, and I still have 440 kilometers of range. And of course, in the last 42 kilometers today, of course, also in Europe, in downtown Bucharest, we have an average speed of 28 kilometers an hour, and the fuel consumption of 7 liters per 100. And the car actually, it's quite nice from this point of view. It's quite nice. Of course, you have as I told you, the 3D layer, the dashboard. This is the first and the only car that actually has that on European market. You'll have the steering wheel, which is very tiny. It's strange, but the build quality, it's quite nice. This plastic actually is the worst thing in the interior of the car. This plastic on the steering wheel with the airbag, but the steering wheel and these trims are quite nice. Of course, the illuminated door, and that's it. You don't have a lot of lights. You don't have a lot of things to worry about inside. You have a navigation. The navigation is, of course, the new generation, which has a wider screen. You have toggle here. You have these systems with this touch screen. This is a touch screen. That's a touch screen, and inside you have 3 touch screens, but you also have some buttons. And the most important button from my point of view is this one. You have to push it, and it's a shortcut for the multimedia system to close the lane departure warning system. Speed limit, I don't need that. Here in East Europe you don't need that. Automatic braking you don't need, because you have to drive the car, don't be driven by the car. And of course the driver attention system, this is in Romanian, and that's actually this is how I drive the car. And of course you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and of course you have a lot of menus here. You have climate, some widgets here, and the radio. You'll have also the radio and the navigation, and this general menu. But of course you have to, when you touch the navigation system, you'll have the widescreen navigation system, which is quite nice. The build quality, it's also, as you probably know, very good inside of this car. And let me show you the price tag. As I told you, we are in Romania. So the dealer is called Urial Invest SRL, and the entry-level version is called Peugeot 308 Style 1.2 Hybrid 145e DCS Euro 6. This is the engine. The color is blue Lagoon, and the price tag with the discount is 26,000 euros 180 with our VAT here, which is 28%. So definitely it's a car that it's an interior and a car that actually it's important for the European market, because a lot of Chinese have entered on European market, and they have very good compact SUVs, but they don't have compact cars. So it's a very big problem for them, because actually the smallest cars that are sold, they are made in China. I think it's the MG3, yes, which is a hybrid with 194 horsepower, but it's a smaller car compared with this one, and some BYD. But from the quality point of view, this Peugeot car, it's much better than the BYD on the BYD Dolphin Surf and or Atto 2 or something like that, in that dimension range, let's say, not bigger and more expensive BYD cars. But Peugeot and Stellantis especially, they made a decision to make to make this brand available in the future. So they are going to close some brands on European market and in the American market, because they are fails from the financial point of view. Sells every other connections. Every problem we see in a capitalistic market. Peugeot brand will still remain, and this 308 and the 408, they remain one of the most important and elaborated compact crossovers cars on this market. This platform actually is made. It's used by Stellantis for the new Citroën C6, C5 Aircross, or the Peugeot 3008 and the Opel Grandland. So it's the same platform, EMP2, but which is wider. So on the small compact car, believe me, it's more than enough. So when you're driving the new 308 on the highway, and you'll have at 140-150 kilometers an hour fuel consumption around 7.2 liter per 100. So it's much more efficient from the financial point of view compared with the big SUV or even with the compact SUV. The height of the car is lower, and the running gear is also more elaborated and efficient on the highway or even on twisty roads. So if you're living in Europe and you want a normal city car, but also you don't want a full hybrid system with a big battery like 1.2 or 1.8 kilowatt hour. This car has only 0.8 kilowatt hour battery, and on the French market the price tag of this battery, as new from the dealership, it's around 2,500 euros. So it's much cheaper to replace this battery, even compared with a Toyota battery or a plug-in or other plug-in hybrid cars or a full hybrid cars on European market. So Stellantis made this decision to make this car somehow entry-level hybrid, even though on the engine it says it's a mild hybrid. Believe me, with that 28 horsepower, the engine will stay off a lot of time, around 40% of the time when you're driving on the city mode. In the city, 90% when you're driving in city style. But when you go outside on the highway, this 1.2 with the 28 horsepower EV engine, electric engine in the gearbox, and the 136 horsepower of the petrol engine actually makes a very good solution for the guys that actually are driving in Germany, or I don't know, in countries with very good infrastructure. And if you drive this car with 100 kilometers an hour, 140 with the air conditioning on, you'll receive a 7.2 or 7.5 liters per 100, which is much better compared with the Chinese big SUV that actually at that speed they consume around 10 liters or more per 100. So this is a very wise decision to buy yourself a compact car. Of course, the price tag, it's okay if you want to have a GT line like this one. The price tag will go around 32,000 euros, or it's not going to be below 30,000 euros. But I think with the discount you could definitely go for that. Bear in mind, they have also a plug-in version of this car, which has a 1.6 turbo engine. It's the former PureTech engine made by PSA and the BMW 15 years ago, a 4-cylinder engine, 180 horsepower or 150 in different versions, and an automatic gearbox, different compared with this one. It's called 7-speed double clutch with a 125 horsepower, but it has also a bigger battery, so the max power combined is 225, but also the price tag, I think it's around 8,000 or 10,000 euros more compared with this 308. So the best buy on the European market for a guy that actually don't drive a lot of kilometers in the city, driving in city, and actually uses a lot of highways. Definitely go for the 1.2 145. Go make a review, test drive this car, and don't worry, this engine, this new generation of 1.2 hybrid engine, it has a timing chain and it doesn't have anymore the timing belt, the big problem with the timing belt. So I think Stellantis fix it. The battery, it's decent. The electric engine, it's quite small, 28 horsepower, but it's enough. If you want to actually drive faster, definitely go for the plug-in hybrid version, but it's more expensive and it's heavier compared with this one. And when you drive it in real life with the empty battery, I think this 1.2, which is a small lightweight car with only 28 horsepower, and this 1.2, I think it's much more efficient in without charging it compared with the 308 plug-in, which must be driven 100% from my point of view when you leave home with the battery fully charged, and to make a very big difference at the pump. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.